Hi,
Hello.
I'm I'm Wendy,
I'm Brian.
and we are retired, renewed, and rerouted. Well, we've been on the road for a year now, and we just wanted to tell you some of the things that we've discovered in our journey of our first year. Stay tuned. Well, we thought today that we'd talk about some pros and cons of our journey in doing this full time. First off, the biggest pro is we're out of debt. By getting rid of our home, we got rid of a whack load of bills, the biggest one being the mortgage. The only thing we have now is our cell phone and gas for the vehicle and groceries. That's it for bills.
Yep.
And what's a con of that? Well, we went from this really huge income before Brian retired to now, after retirement, to this really tiny income. We wanted to be able to live within that income. So yeah, it's sometimes you wish you had a couple of $100s more, but so far we've done this year without having to dip into the RRSPs or any other savings. So it's working out really well for us.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so what's a con? Well, for me, a big con is the laundromat. Do I want to get a washer and dryer in our unit? No, I really don't. But there are times going to the laundromat where it's maybe not the cleanest, and you look at some of the washers and you realize that, yeah, okay, I may want to go to a different place. And sometimes the dryers are so hot they can wreck some clothes. So you got to look at that and say, okay, we have to change the type of clothes we get so that, or watch a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, I find sometimes going to the laundromat can be a little bit difficult, especially when they're not very clean. It costs money to go to the laundromat, but here's a pro about going to the laundromat. We only do laundry maybe every week and a half to 2 weeks.
Yep.
Brian comes with me. He gives me a hand doing it.
Yeah, I read a lot.
He carts everything in for me, and he'll help me do some folding. He likes to fold the socks.
Yeah, right.
And then he carries everything back out again. The pro to me is that I'm done in about 2 hours with all the laundry. We find that it's usually about between 4 and 6 loads if I draw it out to that week and a half to 2 weeks. And it's about $30 a trip to do, so $60 a month. If we were to buy a washer dryer combo unit to put in our thing, I says, at about $3,000. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of years to meet that. So going to the laundromat isn't that big a deal. And quite often in places that we have been staying, I've been able to do the laundry using their machines. And what's the other thing about doing the laundry? Yeah, if you're at a campground, oftentimes, number one, their places are usually really super clean, and they are often cheaper than if you went out to, say, the local laundromat. So that is kind of a pro about it. Do I want to get a washer dryer unit? No, I really don't. I kind of got over my issue with going to the laundromat, and now it's okay.
It's not a big deal.
No, it isn't a big deal. So another pro, we made new friends. What's the con of that? We really missed our old friends.
Big time.
Yeah, for a while there, we were really wondering if we had done the right thing because our friends mean a lot to us. But what we decided to do in the one place where we were wintering, we got plugged into a really good church. on the island, and we found a new family, and we made new friends, and
Yeah.
that helped a lot. So now we feel like we've got an island family, and we've got a mainland family.
That's Vancouver Island for those that don't know the West.
And let's see, what's another, oh, a con, maintenance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, maintenance, it's emptying the tanks. I don't have to do that. Brian takes care of that. I think if I had to do this kind of a lifestyle, yeah, I wouldn't, because I don't think I'd want to ever have to deal with the tanks.
It's not a big deal either.
Yeah. We had a few interesting surprises over this year. One was the hitch. We went in just to have it looked at and had some questions about it.
Yeah, the pins holding the hitch together wore out, and it's just sort of a throwaway hitch, I guess, and so we got a good one.
Yeah, and then we had an issue with the water valves.
Yeah, the water manifold for switching to tanks and filling that was shot. Had to be changed out.
Yeah, and other than that, I know we've had a couple of other somewhat big issues.
Learning to pack more efficiently underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, that's a big thing. I'll tell you, I'm actually quite proud of the fact that we have empty space.
Yeah.
I've got cupboards in there that are empty. Yeah, we downsized a lot and really took seriously this minimalism. Though at the time I didn't know it was called minimalism. We just knew that if it wasn't going to be used, we weren't going to take it. And a lot of things that you think you need, you really don't need. I think in some ways, we got rid of maybe a little bit too much.
Yes, definitely. We're having to buy over again.
Yeah.
On a few things.
Yeah. Tools.
Tools, big time. Parts, maintenance parts, things like that.
Yeah. But quite honestly, guys, the tools that he had, they were old and worn out anyway. So, it was, it was
Those
time.
are good tools.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got rid of maybe a few things. I know my cow collection was a big deal to me, and that was the hardest thing to get rid of. But I'm glad that they're gone. And yet every once in a while I think, oh, if I had this picture or if I had that cow, I could put it here or do that. And really what it comes down to is that it would have been just more clutter. The whole thing about living tiny is to keep the clutter to a minimum. And I think we've accomplished that quite well.
Getting better.
Yeah. So another pro that we find, we don't really find that this is much different than a sticks and bricks. You have a sticks and bricks, you got to mow the yard, you've got maintenance on hot water and furnace and windows and cleaning, and a lot of that stuff is the same thing that we do in our RV. So for me, I don't feel that there's much difference than a sticks and bricks, other than our home now has wheels underneath it.
Yep. Just insure it, no taxes.
Yeah, that's a big pro. No taxes. A con is that here in Canada, it is a little bit harder when it does come to insurances, because we have to have a home province for 6 months out of the year. So right now for us, our home province is Alberta. We rent a room off of some friends, so that gives us our permanent address. So for health insurance, yeah, you have to be in province for 6 months. For a driver's license, same thing. We have to have a permanent address for a driver's license. And the other vehicle insurance and trailer insurance.
Yeah.
Right, so those are kind of the cons about full-time RVing in Canada, is finding that place for your permanent address. Travel insurance is, I find, really, really expensive, but we found one online, really good, that we get our travel insurance through, and for us at our age, it's under $1,000 a year. If we go into the States, we have to pay, I think, $100 for a month extra. So stay tuned to the end, and I will give you that information on that insurance. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, a pro, exploring new places. We got to see some really neat places. Granted, we didn't do a whole lot. We explored the island this winter, the Vancouver Island. When we had our days off, we would drive around and see some of the sights. Probably one of my favorite was Bouchard Gardens, and going to the place where they had the great big huge trees.
Cathedral of Trees, I think it was, their forest.
Yeah, Cathedral Forest.
Yeah.
Up there by...
Going to Port Alberni.
Yeah, wow. That was pretty awesome. We like exploring, but we knew that we didn't want to be exploring every week and moving and going here, there, and everywhere. We also knew that we wanted to remain in Canada. And yes, you can full-time and winter in Canada.
Yeah.
We did it on the island.
Problem.
Oh, it was really good, really good. No snow.
The worst winter since 1940 on Vancouver Island was nothing compared to what a normal winter is up here.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I kind of threw a hissy fit the one day, and I did not want to step outside our unit because of the snow.
Snow day.
Yeah, I took a snow day. The guys kind of chuckled at me. They got me out in the afternoon, but yeah, it was good on the island. We did not have to skirt in. We were plenty warm. We didn't have problems with anything freezing up. But we did freeze up, but it was at the post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just learning to wrap the post a little bit better. And I think one other morning, I didn't have water in the kitchen. We had it in the bathroom, but for some reason, and all we did is we opened up the cupboard door, and everything was fine. I don't even know why it froze there. It was just kind of a fluky thing, but we had no problem. We were plenty warm, and we enjoyed ourselves. A con, can you have too much of a good thing? Yeah, you can.
No, okay.
I don't think we regret doing this and choosing this lifestyle for ourselves. One of the greatest things that we've discovered is being together.
Yeah.
While Brian was working, he worked in the gas field up north of Fort St. John. And he did that for over 30 years. And he was 1 week in camp and then 1 week at home. Well, you find that you have separate lives. You have a life that you have that 1 week you're together, and then you have a life when you're apart. So there were a lot of things that, not major things, but some things that I guess because of that we just never dealt with. And so this past year has been kind of interesting. One day Brian's like, why do you do that? I'm like, because I've always done that. And he says, well, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, I do. It's just you never noticed before because we weren't together all that often.
Like I said earlier, a 10-year honeymoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this past year has been interesting in that way, that the getting to really know each other.
Yeah.
That's been a really enjoyable part, and creating our life together, and instead of having these two separate lives.
Yeah. That's it.
We've got a question for you. If we would like to know what you would like to see, what you would like us to let you know about, if you've got some questions, what kind of videos would you like us to show you? So leave those suggestions in the comments for us. If you like us, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. God bless.
Bye-bye.